Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Conzia podcast with your host Zahid Mohammed. Today we have an amazing guest with us, Shashank Agrawal. Shashank, welcome to our show.
Thanks, Zahid.
Yeah.
Pleasure is all mine.
Thank you. So Shashank has an interesting story to share with us. So he built an amazing company with 17 people, went from 0 to 4 million ARR without any external funding, completely bootstrapped journey, which is amazing by the way, and that is why we are having Shashank on our show. He will share his story and journey with us and also tell about the amazing product that he has built. So Shashank, would you like to share, like a little bit about your journey? When did you start? How has this journey been so far?
Okay. Hi. Thank you. Thanks, Zahid, for the opportunity. So this is my second venture. I started my entrepreneurship journey back in 2013, and that was the time when I was uh, building a business in print on demand in India. So around 2013, 14, dropshipping and print on demand. This was coming coming up very nicely, and I started building a platform in India for print on demand. It was called Fresh Monk, and we raised a bunch of funding also for the same. Ran it for 2.5 years, but India has its own interesting challenges, and this was still early days of e-commerce here. So so we understood that there was a limitation to where that business could scale, and that was definitely not a venture-backed idea. Uh, right, it didn't had that scale. So we exited that in 2016, and that was the time when I started hearing more and more about Shopify. So I got interested. I was trying actually to build a store for myself to experiment with a few products. Uh, but while I was doing that, I got to understand. Uh, I got stuck into one problem, which was related to variant images and how you manage multiple variants in the Shopify store. Uh, so with that, I thought, okay, this must be a problem of much larger audience set, and this hasn't been solved. And whatever solutions were available on community forums, etc., were not great. So I started building this our first app. I was absolutely new to SaaS. So it took me around 7-8 months with a developer to build that. We went live in Shopify App Store, and I'm glad that the first idea really clicked. But I was pretty confident that Shopify ecosystem is the space where businesses can be built, and I'll be able to figure out something. So yeah, I start from there.
So that's an amazing story. So a small problem led to like a company that is doing 4 million ARR without any external funding. It's amazing. So great job,
Yeah, I
Shashank.
really wish it was billion, but we are still at 4 million.
Yeah. Well, so the journey to a billion goes through millions,
Yes,
So
yes,
so
definitely.
you will be to a billion for sure. But of course, it's a great achievement. So tell us a little bit more about, like the company that you are running. So now the company is StarApps Studio. You are
Right.
CEO. You are working with 17 people, an amazing team, good ARR, fully bootstrapped. So share us a little bit more. How did you build it up? How so from first developer to all the way to 17 people. So what has been journey like?
So it was quite interesting. As I said, in my first business, I took some funding, It was an angel investor and a VC firm who had put in some money. So I got some flavor of how an invested business runs, and that pushed me more towards doing it bootstrapped, or at least doing it bootstrapped until you do not know what will you do with money,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Once you have figured out product, then you go and raise money when you have very clear mindset. So that was very clear, and then we were fortunate enough to be in a space where the EBITDA margins are quite high. And, we never, money never became a reason to stop. And I just, so hiring initial team, people used to ask whether we are funded or not. And
That's a very often question. People
right,
sometimes people underestimate the power of actual product. They
correct.
keep asking, like
So,
about the funding. Yeah.
so my answer to them used to be that we are funded by our customers,
Yeah.
right? And that's the best funding available,
For sure,
right?
100%. Yeah.
Right. That's the real validation. And see, when you are doing it in the bootstrapped way, your focus remains on building a real solution rather than sometimes you get distracted chasing metrics that do not matter at the end, because you have money and because you can run those experiments. So sometimes you get distracted also. So Bootstrap has that advantage. Of course, sometimes it may feel slow, but I think SaaS is definitely a space where bootstrapping is possible.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. So, like both sides have their own advantages and
Yes.
disadvantages. So I built up three companies. So I am a seller myself. I also built SaaS apps, and then I built an agency.
Right.
So I definitely agree. So sometimes you just need to focus, right? So you don't want to build up just for investors. You don't want to chase metrics that matter for investors, but they don't matter for your momentum. So I am a big fan of like keeping it bootstrap, but definitely there are some hard times as well. For example, people, you definitely have some competitors or other Shopify developers who raise big money, sit
Right.
in sit in nice offices. So how did you convince your team to stay really focused on the actual work? So sometimes it is also a pressure from the team. Okay, why don't we raise like big money? Why don't we enjoy
Right.
a little bit more, right?
Right. So see, as I said, SaaS was absolutely a new space for me also, right? Uh, so I was always asking myself as well, why I am here, right? Can I really create something? Am I doing something really special here, which others cannot do, right? Am I really better at something which can really create a real value? And multiple times in that journey, I got more and more confident when we figured out a solution for a problem in a very clever way, very interesting way, the way it was never solved before. And people liked that, right? So that gave us the confidence. And it's an absolute product-led growth journey. Uh, we have very little uh, exposure into other marketing channels apart from the organic growth that has come
Yeah.
through Shopify App Store.
Which is the solid growth, by the way. Yeah, because
Correct.
Shopify App Store and Shopify ecosystem is big enough that if you have good apps, if you have good products, if customers are happy, if the reviews are good,
Correct.
you actually don't need to do anything else. You just keep building the product, right? So if you can deliver a good product, so which is, by the way, like a proof,
Correct.
and I can see that from the 4 billion ARR, even though the platform has become very competitive now. So
Correct.
initially there were, like a couple of hundreds apps when you started. when I started, there were 5 or 6,000. I think now there are 20, 25,000 plus, something like this.
Correct.
So it has become a very competitive, but still there is a big potential available for people who are building the real solutions. So we will definitely touch back on what exactly your apps offer. Before we deep dive, go into all those details, I would like to understand, is there any other co-founder with you as well? So how does the company structure look like?
Yeah. So Santosh joined me in the early journey. He is the co-founder of this. Uh, I and Santosh, we met in my previous startup, uh, the print-on-demand company I mentioned. So he was our first team member over there, and over the time, over 3-4 years of working together, we built that rapport. So when I was building this, I really wanted somebody who can take care of the engineering, who's absolutely reliable and can solve anything that comes in the way. And it was fantastic working with Santosh. Uh, so we, I mean, whatever problems we found and the way we tried to solve it, it was very difficult because uh, uh, we were building uh, elements that will change and interact with the themes. And themes are like infinite. There's
Yeah.
just numerous themes. Uh, so
It's a difficult
correct,
domain.
correct.
My respect. So just the point here. So because I test a lot of different apps specifically for variances, I see like sometimes they just destroy your whole design, your whole homepage. So it is, like a very sensitive, I would say, like segment.
Correct, correct. So being there and being there very carefully. So, for example, Shopify app block, etc. That those things came much later
Later,
in the
yeah,
ecosystem.
yeah, yeah,
When we started building, you had absolutely complete access to the theme, and if you are not careful, you can really break someone's store,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
At that point, we were very clear that the product, the way we wanted to build, is an app. An app, for example, when you install in your mobile or any other platform, right? You believe that it is not going to interfere with anything else that's happening over there, and when you and if you do not like it, you can remove it very cleanly. You can uninstall it, and it is not going to leave anything behind and broken in your phone or wherever you are installing, right?
Yeah.
We wanted to give exactly the same experience on Shopify, and this was very difficult. Now with the Shopify app blocks and app embeds, it has been so much streamlined. But so one thing that we noticed from very early on is that your ultimate conversion from install to your customer, that is going to be a certain percentage, right? Probably in 20, 30, 35% maximum, right? So more people will be uninstalling the app than you will make customers, right?
For sure. Yeah.
It's very important that the exit journey is also very clean.
Yeah,
Your
that makes sense. So because when I started, so we built an integration app for Shopify as well. It was also a very difficult thing because
right,
we were actually deploying the live chat widgets on stores, and
right,
sometimes it was also, like messing up the settings, messing up the homepage. So I am completely with you, and so there are a lot of complaints after people uninstall the apps.
right,
The code is still there. So
right.
I know, I do understand, like these kind of problems. So walk me through a little bit more on the sales part as well. So you said like you have a technical co-founder, and I assume that you are on the business side, even though you have some technical background as well. So how do you guys split the responsibilities in between the team? So share with us a
So,
little bit more on that front.
so yeah, so so sales. So one of the reason why we could scale this business to this point with such a small team is because our support team, which we call success team, uh, acts as our sales team as well. They directly impact our revenue, and they are the only people with which our customers interact, right?
Yeah.
So be it any help in onboarding, be it any help related to pre-sales questions, everything comes to them, and they are very well equipped to solve for all of those scenarios. Uh, they can very well set it up within 10 minutes, right? Right on the live chat, they can customize anything that you want. Even if you have a custom theme, they can just configure the app for you. Uh, so we had to build a lot of internal tools to ensure that that happens. And so, so the sales part is actually very much taken care by
The
our
customer
support team.
support.
Our
Yeah.
support.
So just a comment here. So we also saw this when we were building those apps because Shopify's sellers, they have a lot of options available. So if you don't resolve that problem right away, they will uninstall and then they will leave and they will
Correct.
move to the next one until unless you have some apps which are, like very unique. So
Right.
I think this is like the best kind of
No, no.
strategy.
First day uninstall is an unsolved mystery.
Yeah, for sure.
I have not seen any app that has less than 20% or 15% first day uninstall.
Yeah.
And you will wonder why this customer came if they had to
And yeah.
uninstall it within a few minutes.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
So you never know, right? So
So
what we did like back then, so we installed, like a piece of code and then we could see, like the recordings for some
yeah,
screens. And then, like, and sometimes you don't even see the reason, like why did they
yeah, yeah, that's
uninstall, so and you are completely blank. So
uh,
I'm completely with you.
yes, yes.
So, how many apps are currently available? So you said like you have a suite of apps, right? So there are multiple apps
Correct,
in one. Yeah.
correct. So So we do have 7 apps currently, but they
Very
all
good.
stitch together on the idea of product variations. Uh, so that's where we started. We started with the image gallery that we found that it was broken when you have multiple variants in the product, and that's how the variant image automator, our first app, came into being. When we were solving that and interacting with merchants, we figured out that there are lot many problems that needs to be solved, and then there was some that were just experiment that we wanted to do. So for example, there's a very interesting app, variant title king, right? And so product title is a very interesting text. That's the only text that is visible on mobile when you load the page. That's the largest font, and that sits on top. That has a lot of contribution to SEO also because that's header tag, right? H1. So considering all of that, it's a very interesting text. But nobody has ever touched that area and has tried to build anything or optimize that thing. So we just thought like, okay, let's try to do something over there and see if there is a space and if we hear something from merchants that we can then build upon. So it was more
Yeah.
like an experiment. Uh, so we found one or two use cases, but never got a really in-depth chance to optimize it. But there are still one or two use cases where we want to experiment in that app. So, so that app, for example, is absolutely free. There's an all text automator that's also free. That's for all text of images, and and then the our Swatch app. That's a very popular app. Probably one of the app in top 30 list of Shopify, if we have guessed it correctly. So that's very popular. That really helps people to convert better, to help them make a decision and complete their complete the process to add to cart. We have seen great results with that app. And then very recently we launched an app that was so this solution we used to provide. There are still 3,000-4,000 merchants that use this solution, but we recently built a public app for that in the product grouping or combined listing area.
That's
So
that's
that
an interesting niche as well. It's
yeah,
an
that
it's a
is
good problem to solve.
correct. So we hope that Shopify has launched combined listing last year, and with that, more and more people will get aware about that area.
Yeah.
This is a big area where we have been telling the ecosystem for last 4 or 5 years, and we have been helping thousands of merchants to use a variant solution that is really ready for e-commerce. And when you want to connect your Shopify store to external e-commerce ecosystem, so be it Amazon, be it Google shopping feed, be it Facebook feed, etc. If you want to connect your product to external systems, they understand variants in the combined listing way much better. Also, even if you are not in that area, but you want to track down your marketing campaign and efforts and really want to fine tune that, going as individual listing for each variant is a much better approach than doing it in the traditional Shopify variant style.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So help me understand a bit as well. And we have a big audience, 20,000 Shopify sellers. A lot of them, they follow us on multiple platforms, YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, and some of them, they are listening as well. So do you have the separate listings on Shopify? How does it work? Because you mentioned like there are 7 apps in total, and there is one big app like so if someone wants to install an app, do they install the master app or they can install individual apps? How does this
No,
installation process?
there's no master app. These are
Okay.
all these are 7 different problem statements that
Okay.
each app solve. Not all stores require all the solution.
Okay. So there are
And
7 listings, 7 app listings,
correct.
separate listings. Okay.
Yes,
Very
yes.
good. Okay.
They are very distinct in ideas, and that's why they deserve a separate listing for themselves.
Definitely. I agree. And how many users and customers you have? So in total, how many people use that and how many paying customers?
So around so we say more than 25,000, but we are very soon going to touch 30,000.
Oh, good news. So 30,000 paying customers.
30,000 total customers, paying subscriber, because we have free app and paid
Yeah.
apps all. Paid subscriptions would be somewhere around 14, 15,000 subscriptions. And out of that, there are thousands of plus stores.
And what is the CLV like? So on average, so
So,
if you could share any numbers with us.
so again, these apps are still very charge very small fee, 15, 30, $50 sort
Yeah.
of, based on your Shopify plan and all. So, for example, for Shopify Plus plan, the lifetime value goes somewhere around 2,800, 2,900 range,
Okay. Okay.
right? And for a smaller basic plans, because there's a high churn over there, stores close pretty
Yeah, it's just common on Shopify.
right,
Yeah,
right.
very common.
So that's because a lot of entrepreneurs come to experiment. I think that area where CLTV is roughly 600, somewhere around 600.
Okay, which is a good number by the way as well. And where, so are your customers big Shopify sellers or small sellers?
So
Shopify Plus, how do you split them?
no, as I said, we have around 1,100 Shopify Plus users.
Okay.
So if you will see the distribution, if I mean the ratio how within Shopify Plus, Basic, etc. are split, you will find that ours is more skewed towards larger plans.
Okay. And is there any? I do understand, like bigger companies have a lot of variances, but we also see people who are selling on drop shipping. They have hundreds and thousands of listings, but is there any reason or pattern you see big Shopify sellers use your apps more than the small ones?
No, so both of them use us. We have a huge customer base of Shopify Basic stores and dropshippers as well. However, we have always built our product to ensure that it's absolutely reliable, it's absolutely scalable. Any infrastructure is not whatever that store requires to run on storefront, that is de-linked to my server as much as possible, or it is on absolutely best infrastructure so that it can scale. So because the architecture has been so carefully crafted, it's possible that our dashboard may go down if something bad happens. So in that case, you may not be able to temporarily access our store, access our dashboard
The
to change
Yeah,
setting.
yeah.
That's still possible if, let's say, we are upgrading something or something else. But your storefront on your storefront, the apps will continue to run, right? So that never gets impacted. Uh, so because we were very careful in building product in that way, also understanding what are the needs of larger merchants, and if somebody has to do it at scale, if somebody has to manage 5 different stores, how they can sync between stores, etc. So we built all those solutions also within the app. I think that is the reason why larger merchants, they really like us, right? And
Very
when
good.
they compare, they definitely find value in how we have built those products. Uh, and a lot of those, of course, come through agencies. So agencies have used our product, and
Yeah.
when they use our product versus any other product in the market, they can very clearly see the difference, how differently it is built, and how solid the support is, etc.
Yeah.
So I think that builds trust over time, which has led to this.
Yeah, so which is, like the agency partnership is an interesting model. I run an agency myself, so I have built up apps as well. I was a seller as well on Shopify. So I tried, like all these three flavors. So are there active partnerships you seek out or you reach out to
So
agencies? Because you said like it's mostly organic.
it is mostly organic. There are a lot of agencies that interact with us, who use us, and who have installed hundreds of stores. But we do not have a formal agreement, and
Okay.
that is what we are trying to do now.
Yeah.
We really want to ensure that, because what is happening now is that as we are growing and adding more and more features, we absolutely want that our agency partners get to know about those features, or maybe help us build those features and give us feedback early on. So we are now trying to formalize that partnership. Uh, I have taken that charge, and
Oh, very good.
I'm,
Yeah.
I'm I'm working with a bunch of industry experts to help me out with that. So
But yeah.
hopefully in next 2-3 months we'll have amazing results over there.
Yeah. Are you also thinking of partnering up with them on some revenue share model as well? Because it's
Yeah,
common. Yeah.
we do have an affiliate program.
Okay, very good.
We
Yeah.
have an in-house system that we built to track affiliate referrals, etc. But we never pushed that, and although agencies are using us, they never approached us to share revenue, and that was never the driver. The driver was always product. but we feel that because there are so many new things that we are doing all the time in the product, it's better that our partners know that
What are
what we have built
yeah,
and
and
how their clients can take advantage of that.
yeah, I think this is the big part because there are so many, like thousands of apps available. So you have to be, like all the time educating agency owners or
Correct.
other people about what are the new features coming in. For
Correct.
people for people who are running agencies, I just dropped the link to a website, so feel free to check out, see,
Correct.
like what kind of programs are available there. So I would like to touch back a little bit more on the overall how the Shopify platform has evolved. I see a lot of people who started apps back then. Many companies exited as well. A lot of founders sold their
Right.
companies. So, do you still think that the Shopify ecosystem or the Shopify app store is a good place to start a new app, or for people who are already running their apps, there is a lot of competition available as well, a lot of issues in terms of reviews. So what is your take on that? So is this the business that you still want to grow, or you are looking for an exit?
No, no, this is, there's a lot of space to grow. I mean, the problem that we solve is a very large problem. Almost everybody on Shopify deal with variants in some or the other way, and we have barely captured 0.2, 0.3% of the Shopify market, right? So there's a huge growth available ahead. I very strongly believe that Shopify's ecosystem is still quite robust, and new ideas can be built here. Yes, the style how it has to be built and how it has to be scaled and how you will get your initial customers is going to be different. When I built, my strategy was different because those things were available. Uh, you could rely on Shopify's organic growth for your initial install. Probably today you can't do that. But the technology disruption is happening all the time, right? You will see so many subscription apps, right? Now being part of top 10, top 15. I think in top 15 Shopify apps, you will find at least two subscription app. Okay, this whole category did not exist almost 3 years ago, right? Or whatever it used to exist, it was very small. It was only after Shopify released the API for subscription that these very clean app solution in those domains were possible, and then people have built it, right? So there are many ideas like that. AI is a revolution that has come. It is going to change most of the solutions, right? In each space, you can do something much better and something that was not possible before with AI. And there's a great opportunity. So there has to be some disruptive angle. If you go to Shopify editions this year, I'm sure Shopify is going to drop 3 or 4 new APIs. And if you are carefully listening, you will understand in what direction Shopify wants to go. And if you listen that carefully and build in that area, you will have an amazing ride on that wave, right? You will,
Yeah,
you,
yeah, definitely, I agree.
so those are quick hacks and ways in the way you can build something. Of course, if you want to build something in product reviews area, I mean a very simple problem statement may not have a space to build more. However, reviews can still be
Yeah, they can still, like they are an important,
disrupted.
yeah,
Yeah,
they can
so
be
it
an
can be
important part.
disrupted if,
Yeah,
let's
yeah.
say, with AI you can do something differently, right?
These are definitely amazing insights. So, Shashank, so you have an amazing story. So you understood in which direction Shopify was evolving, and then so you started riding on the wave, and you are successful today. You have a team of your own developers. You have 4 million ARRs. There are a lot of people who are listening to this podcast. They have not yet started. So they have, like an idea, but they are not taking the first step. What would be your piece of advice for people who want to do something? They want to be on their own. They have not yet taken the first step. They want to build
Right.
up a startup, or they want to start selling online. So what would be your piece of advice for people who want to take, like this risk?
Okay. So, see, one piece of caution first that I would say is entrepreneurship is a long journey.
Yeah.
It is not a journey of a year or a few months or maybe 2 years. It takes time, and you can reduce that time maybe by your past experiences and what you are building, etc. But all of that understanding comes from a real problem. If you have faced a real problem that you really believe should be solved, and you have a solution that solves it in a better way, there's no reason why people in the market will not pay a price and will not try your thing if you have really understood a problem. But it's a long journey, and when you are in that path, when you are interacting with people, you will find how to fine tune your idea and uh, how to make a niche, very specific solution to a solution that a large audience would like to. That's one piece of advice, that it's a long journey. Come here with that mindset, and you will be absolutely successful. And start early as you can. Uh, Number two, I think, as I said, any disruptive technology, any new API, those are the things to look for, and that can probably give you a better chance to build something which can be successful, where you can compete with the existing apps and solutions, because you are just building it with a newer technology which is much better. And people who might have been successful in that area will have a lot of inertia to migrate to new technology. You can be agile and you can be fast in building there, and go ahead with from there.
I absolutely agree. So finding a problem where you can build something. It can be, like a service or a product or a software or a SaaS app or an API. So I think this is very important. So the first advice that you gave, it is also my rule. So entrepreneurship, it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. So if you do it in a sprint way, you will be tired, you will be exhausted, and then you will give up. This is Shashank, a great piece of advice. How does the next 2-3 years look like? So, what exactly are your growth plans? In which direction you want to move? So, are you also thinking of coming outside Shopify, or it's just a Shopify? So, share any thoughts on that note with us.
No, I think there's still so much to build in the Shopify space and in the variant area where we are. We have an amazing roadmap ahead. So you will see a lot of change in the product probably in next 6 months. There will be an absolutely new generation of our solution that will be available, that will have a lot of AI inbuilt, a lot of intelligence built in, and we will start helping merchants with optimizing their variant sales, and really helping them with AI to sell, to convert better, and target the variants that sell better. So a lot of optimization possibilities and analytics is going to come in these apps. So I'm very excited. As I said, we are still very small, 0.2, 0.3% of Shopify space that we have captured, and we can definitely capture 3 to 5% of Shopify merchant base, which is continuously growing. So huge potential ahead,
For,
and I mean, nobody else can do it better than us because we have that experience. So I I'm not looking to go out. I'm not looking to looking outside Shopify, and I'm not looking to exit. I I'm absolutely focused on just building and going there, right? And in that path, there will be a lot of opportunities.
yeah.
We will try to see how this will be taken.
I love the fact when people are super clear, they know this is the direction they want to do. They know what they are doing. They enjoy, they like working with their team members, and they keep building. So Shashank, you are definitely a builder. I am impressed for sure, and I am 100% confident that you will achieve all your goals in terms of capturing a bigger part of Shopify. And to be honest, it's so the future still belongs to e-commerce.
Yeah.
So it the with the AI and all those things coming up, so it will keep changing. But people who can resolve real problems, they will keep building up the stuff. They will keep building up the innovative solutions, even if the AI is coming up. So I have one last question here as well. You mentioned the importance of community as well. So in India, there is a big community of Shopify developers, agencies. How much are you connected? How do you interact? How do you share your knowledge? So
So we so we are very connected. First of all, when I started building in back in 2016, 17, that was the year that I have traveled the most. I still cannot beat how much travel I did and how many flights I took that year. I was just going to every event. Thankfully, there were so many events happening across India, and I was just going to every office, every partner, and just saying hello, taking learnings from them, and we have got absolutely amazing piece of advices that helped us stay on the track and avoid a lot of mistakes. So community is really strong here. Unfortunately, I am not a very social media savvy. So you will find me in physical events, absolutely discussing, sharing, and learning. However, I'm very social media shy. So I have just started writing on LinkedIn. So this is a personal challenge that I have taken, that I I want to try this, and I want to be consistent, and for at least 3 to 4 months, I just want to share whatever I have learned.
yeah.
Okay. So there's a personal challenge. Let's see how that goes.
Well, I can see that already. I mean, I am grateful for your time. So the advice that you have shared. So you need to come to podcast often.
Yeah.
So people who are listening, you want to have Shashank on your podcast. You want to talk about Shopify, anything.
Yeah.
He's he's super responsive. So I reached out, and you thankfully replied, like right away,
Like
and
so,
then
as I said, your email came right at a very right point when I had taken this challenge that I want to go out and write and speak about our
yeah,
journey,
for sure. Yeah.
because so many people from community, the batch of 2016, 17 founder, right? Uh, a bunch of them have exited. We
Yeah.
still hang out together, and they always keep telling me that, hey, why don't you share how you have built, uh, how you have built in a niche where people were not thinking about. So why don't you share? So this year I took that challenge that, okay, I will start sharing, and let's see how that goes.
No, it has been, like an amazing discussion. So we are very thankful for your time, Shashank. So, guys, if you people who are running their own podcast, you want to reach out to Shashank. He is very responsive on LinkedIn. You can also reach out to him via his website. So, I already dropped the link here. Shashank, it was a real pleasure having you. Thank you so much for sharing your insights with me, with our audience as well. And I look forward to having you at some point again in future once you launch some new feature or some new apps. Thank you so much.
It was absolute pleasure talking, Zahid.
Thank you.
Hope to meet you in person as well.
For sure. So you are welcome to come to Berlin or Miami. So I split my time in both places and I would be happy to host
By
you.
any chance you are coming to Editions?
I have not yet planned that. I think it's gonna be mostly the virtual.
I will be there, and we are also sponsoring the Mental Tectonic.
Okay, very good.
So I'll be there for 2 days, and then in this event, and then we are. I will be in Canada for I think around 2 weeks.
Oh, okay. Well, I think that that's the best chance, like to meet
Yeah,
other entrepreneurs as well, to network, and it has always been, like
yeah,
a very big thing for Shopify ecosystem for big sellers as well. Small sellers they don't usually don't go. App developers, agency owners.
yeah.
So I always, learn a lot of stuff from Editions. Thank you so much, Shashank, for coming to my show.
Thank
It,
you.
it
Thanks
was
for
an absolute pleasure talking to you.
same here. Thanks for hosting me. So
Thank you.
catch you again.
So, anyone who is listening from Shopify developer side, so guys, if you have built up an amazing app, you want to come to my show, discuss with my audience who are 20,000 sellers on Facebook and Instagram as well, YouTube. Share your story with us. Reach out to me on LinkedIn or reach out to me via my app. I'll be happy to host you on my show. Thank you so much for joining. Take care. Bye bye.